Hi guys, I'm Dr. Sujata Kapoor, and today I'm planning to share my life story with you. I thought before I preach people to to tell us their life stories. It's my moral responsibility, being the organizer of some Wait Night 2020, to share my life journey. Although I have faced so many challenges in my life, but this challenge of being a special parent to a chosen special parent to child called Visharda Kalra is really a story which I think need to reach people, because I think after listening to my experience, many people will learn and to count on their blessings. It is going to be a very difficult task for me. I don't have any planned script. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to speak my heart out. And just excuse me if I speak anything wrong, because I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to speak my heart out, and if I hurt anybody, please excuse me for that. And it is going to be a very difficult task for me. So this story starts from when Visharda was born on 30. So Visharda was born on 16 December 2013, and just like any parent, we had so many dreams for her. And she was born in the afternoon, so the doctor said that she's going to be she's not going to trouble you because she's going to sleep at night, unlike other children who are born during the night. But trust me, I've never got that opportunity. I'm always awake in the night, and I just sleep for 2 hours and 3 hours, and 9 o'clock I start my morning. I have to start teaching at 9 o'clock in the morning. So this story is just a life journey, my experiences in the past 3-4 years, what Visharda has gone through in last 3-4 years, and trust me, it is not to gain anybody's sympathy. It is purely if somebody can empathize with children who are on autism spectrum disorder, just not on autism spectrum disorder, any special child or any disorder. So I just want that society should embrace them with full arms. They get better understanding. They get better acceptance in the society. And being a parent, I just want to spread a message that autism is not a choice, but acceptance is. So the earlier we'll accept it, the earlier our child is going to improve. So our child Visharda was a very very active girl, very beautiful, very young, energetic child, and everybody used to stop me in the lift and ask me, "What do you do with the child? She's so active." I don't know what happened when she was 1.5 years old, and we were preparing for our younger sister's wedding, Alka. And suddenly she started withdrawing herself from everything. And we had done a lot of preparations for the wedding. I had done a lot of purchasing, beautiful frocks, because I'm so fond of dressing up. So I purchased beautiful frocks for Visharda also, assuming that she's going to enjoy a lot in the wedding. But suddenly something went wrong. She was suffering from severe cold and cough, and she was suffering from viral fever at that point of time, and she was withdrawing herself from everything. She didn't like strangers at all. She started preferring seclusion, and she used to start shouting at the touch of other people. She used to prefer lie down on the floor on a side, and I was, poor me, I was not able to understand. And when my sister wedding came, and when it finished, I just didn't realize, because I was too much lost in the child. So whatever was my childhood dream to enjoy my younger sister wedding was like vanished. And thereafter we took her to doctor, thinking that she's not well. So doctor told me that you have to take her to a development pediatrician. Does she follow instructions? Visharda at times was rigid in following instructions. However, she was verbal to some extent, but I had no clue what was going on. And actually, when doctor said development mental pediatrician, it seemed as if somebody has snatched floor underneath my foot, and I didn't know what to do. I was totally troubled, and I thought probably I'll take an off from my office. It is because I'm working, I'm not able to devote time with my daughter. That's why I'm not able to take good care of her. What's wrong with her? I was totally lost. I started then few I started studying about autism spectrum disorder, because that's what the doctor hinted us. And I started thinking, I'll buy these toys, I'll buy these instruments for my daughter, and she'll be all right. Because I, in the hearts of hearts, I was not ready to accept that something is going to go wrong with my daughter. You can imagine that I am a PhD doctor and my husband is a pediatrician. So we used to, I used to tell him, my daughter will study in modern school. So we had that kind of dreams for my daughter. So suddenly she could not, we put her in play school, and every day we used to get a call from the play school that she's crying, she's not eating anything. So we finally went to a development pediatrician at Max Hospital, and before the doctor could tell us, I already knew it, that she is on autism spectrum disorder. So then began actually the journey of a special parent. Though I scored pretty high in terms of, I accepted very early that my daughter has autism. But that feeling sunk in very soon, because I've seen many special parents who don't accept that their child is a special child. But then the painful story then began, because I never thought. I was so afraid of going to hospitals. I always used to be averse to going to hospitals, and what doctors left in my life was only visiting hospitals and only visiting hospitals. So I think if you're scared of something, that happens most in your life. So don't be scared of anything. Don't have any insecurity in your life. So we absolutely didn't have any idea what's happening around us. So that then began a journey to the different activity centers, offering occupational therapy, ABA therapies and sports therapy for the special children, and we had no idea what we were doing. And it is a big money minting market. I'm not saying it for all the activity centers, all the therapists. Some of very hardworking, very very honest therapists are there in the country, but when you are new and you don't know anything about autism, you will fall under the prey of these kind of therapists, whose ultimate motive is just to mint money, draw money out of you. And what happened, we spent lakhs and lakhs of money, and all I could see was deterioration in my daughter, no improvement in my daughter. They were just minting money from us, and we had no idea what we were doing. I thought my daughter was even better before taking her to the activity center, and everybody, the therapy centers, and all I could hear was, my daughter is on red flag, she is very slow, no therapist was willing to take her class, she does not show interest in anything. All I could hear was negative things, that your daughter is on red flag, she has no motivation. And poor me, I didn't understand what to do, and I informed nobody in my office, because I know nobody would understand what is autism. Because all the discussion I had in my office is, I want my child to prepare for engineering and all, and their children were scoring 95 percentile, and they were so good at studies, and then also they were disappointed. So I was totally, and my health started deteriorating. I developed spondylitis. I developed so many ailments, because we have this wonderful cook at our home who cooks wonderful food, and the entire food used to go waste. And my husband used to eat food only because he's a doctor. He used to say that khana nahi khayenge, so how we are going to survive. But I could not do that. So the entire food used to go to maids, or we used to throw that food, and nothing used to happen. I didn't even remember when was the last time when I had food thrice. However, this situation has improved considerably now, because I have learned many things over the period of time. However, I don't remember when was the last time when I went to any wedding. I don't remember when was the last time we went to any restaurant or a movie. So it's not actually seeking sympathy, but I'm telling you the challenges of a special parent. So the most affected in out of entire three was my little daughter Visharda, who was herself stuck in her own world, and not able to communicate her problems. And we were just taking her from one therapy center to the other therapy center in a hope that she is going to improve, but nothing was happening. And my daughter was a bottle fed child till 4 years. She's so averse to food. She has such severe feeding problems. She does not have properly developed taste buds. However, with the help of one very good feeding therapist, I have brought her to the stage where we are feeding her mashed food right now. But I'm not sure when she will start chewing the food. And that's also a very big challenge. However, I'm very grateful to that therapist who has actually helped us out with, help with the plans that we executed with her, plans of feeding, and finally, I'll make a separate video which can help the special parents as to how you can solve the feeding issues of your child. It worked with my daughter because I was running from pillar to post. I wanted my daughter to eat something, and she did not demand anything. She did not demand even water. She never drank water. She was only surviving on Pediasure and cow's milk, nothing else. And every the story is after every 2 weeks, she used to fall sick. She used to have that severe cold and cough, and she used to pass that deep yellow urine. And even I could not give her any medicines because she did not know how to swallow, and she did not. And even if I could not give her syrups also because she didn't take water. That's the basic necessity for survival, and she used to clear her stomach uh, once in 5 days. It was so painful, and I just can't forget that day. Those days I still remember. We have God has helped us to sail through that time period, where I have brought my daughter to the stage where at least she's taking juices and she's drinking water. So that's very painful stage we have traveled across. I used to have that sleepless nights before my daughter used to have parents teacher meeting, because all I could hear in the parents teacher meeting is that your daughter is landing nowhere. She's a very slow child, and we cannot do anything about her. She does not have any motivation, and the problem is all the autistic children are very different, but you cannot follow a standard pattern of therapies with the children. Every child is unique, so you have to mold your therapies according to that. But I don't think already working with the special children is so strenuous that therapists are left with that energy to experiment new methods with the children. So I have tried everything, right from play therapy to sports therapy to occupational therapy, and there are wonderful therapists out there. But uh, in the hunt of wonderful those well trained therapists, you actually get caught into the prey of those therapists who and activity centers, and those owners who are running those therapy centers, who touch you on your vulnerable side. They take advantage of you because you are very vulnerable, and if you get a little emotional support, if somebody says, yeah, you bring your daughter to our activity center and we will completely transform her in 2 days, 2 months, then every special parent would run to that therapy center, not knowing, in a hope. So we went to all the possible pundits, we went to all the possible religious places, thinking my daughter will improve. There would be some good news coming our way. I really didn't remember how many wedding anniversary passed. Our wedding anniversary used to pass, and we didn't even remember that our wedding anniversary happened, or uh, was there. We used to forget our anniversaries. We used to forget birthdays because that was not our focus point or center of attract actually focus. So, one day we took her to AIMS, to a psychologist, and that psychologist told her, baby, she's suffering from some neuro disorder. So why don't you go to some take her to a pediatric neurologist. So we took her to a pediatric neurologist, and the pediatric neurologist said that she's exhibiting symptoms of a neuro disorder, which is ESES. So you have to get her EEG done, and he also assured, he did our counseling. In AIMS, everybody is treated as an experiment. So for them, a human being is an experiment. That's what is my understanding. They may have come up with wonderful treatments for some of the most dangerous diseases, but that's what I actually witnessed. So what happened? We took her to one. So we took her to one pediatric neurologist, and he said that you can have miraculous results in terms of your daughter's behavior if you will. You have to admit her in AIMS for few days, and then we'll administer some steroids on her. And trust me, she's only 2.5 years old, so you can have miraculous results. And it was such a difficult decision. So then began our journey and race of visiting AIMS every day, looking for ward where the treatment of my daughter could begin. I really don't know. I have to make videos and videos to share my experience, because I have so much to tell you. So then began our journey of visiting AIMS, and then I realized how the sick children look. Then I realized the kind of diseases, the kind of illness that prevails in the world. And then I realized the importance of health also. But then I was not somehow getting time to focus on myself, because my health was even deteriorating because of the stress, anxiety of the office and of my child. You can actually feel the pain of a mother who has to get a 2.5-year-old daughter admitted for a steroid treatment, or I don't know, some new experimental treatment at AIDS, just in a hope, because the doctor said that the results could be miraculous. So I remember we got her admitted. The first day I could not even sleep, because next day my daughter, I was so worried how she will put that cannula. And she was pierced around on both of her arms. 10 people held her. Then finally she could got one final cannula through, which can be used for the steroid treatment. But worst was yet to come, which I never imagined. I took her to bath, and I saw that she had some allergy on her hips. And then we informed the doctor about that, and the doctor referred us to the skin disease department. And there we were told that she has some virus which is known as Coxsackie virus. And I uh, in Hindi it is said कि दिल टूटने की आवाज़ नहीं होती. Actually, I felt that day वाकई दिल टूटने की आवाज़ नहीं होती, because that pain I could still feel. I have still got that pain in my heart. Uh, I could still feel that pain in my heart, and my heart was broken and shattered to pieces, and with no option. And then we again went to the pediatric neurologist at AIMS, and he told us, since you have admitted your daughter, we'll undergo some kind. We'll put some medication, not steroids, some simple I don't exactly know the medical term. We'll not give her the course of steroids. You have to readmit her for the course of steroids, and we'll give her some other medicines. So 10 days, just like जैसे in Mahabharat, अर्जुन की आंख वो मछली पर थी. So my whole focus was on her cannula, because I just could not afford that cannula to go out, because I knew the pain she had undergone, and she was pierced on both her hands, and with a lot of difficulty we had that cannula done. So 24 hours, 10 days across, I just sat on the bed with my daughter on the lap, and to ensure that whatever medicines are being injected, they are done properly. So 10 days passed, and I was happy coming back home. But then again, there was a fear that we had to get her readmitted again somewhere around Diwali. So we again went to AIMS, steroid treatment was done, and again the same story of cannula happened, and again I and we were promised 8 days, but because her blood pressure was going up, so the 8 days were extended to 10 days. And each minute was like 1,000 years for me, because I had to sit with my daughter head on the lap, and I had to, and my daughter was so scared after her first experience that in the second she did not sleep for days in AIMS. She was so scared of the experience she had previously, and till date, you can imagine the kind of fear that that poor child has. I should not say poor child, because she's the child of God and God has decided her destiny. So, but being a mother, I feel bad for her, because till date she relates white color with hospital. She's so dreadful of white bed sheets. She's so dreadful of white color, anything associated with hospital. And till date, it's very difficult to take her to hospital, because that trauma or that she had undergone at AIMS. And what all I observed at AIMS, such sick children, they just added to my anxiety and my stress, nothing else, because then I realized what actually is the real world. And then I realized how to count on our blessings. I was very aggressive and very ambitious, but I learned self-control. I learned patience and perseverance. I'm a complete transformed personality now. So finally, 10 days passed. Diwali we spent in the hospital, and I will never forget those 20 days which I spent all in AIMS. I will never forget. And then we came back in the hope now our daughter will be restored back to the way she was initially, a very lively and vivacious child. And then we again went to AIMS, got her EEG done. That's a separate story. I just don't have the time to discuss, because I can go on and on how our EEG was done. And we had that hope that her EEG will improve, and now my daughter will restore back to her normal health. But we were wrong. There was not even a 0.1% improvement in her EEG. She was at the same stage. And when we went to the doctor, I was almost in tears. And the doctor told me, no, you go for second round, and I'm sure if the first round is not successful, the second round of steroids would be completely successful on her. And till date, I have never been able to gather the courage to readmit her to AIMS. And what was the impact of her treatment at AIMS? That whatever little vocabulary she had, she lost that vocabulary. Now today she's a completely non-verbal child, and we are struggling for her speech. She's going to be 7 years. All I wish and all I pray from God is that she develops her speech, because she's not able to express herself. If she's having stomach ache, then I sometimes give her medicine of headache, thinking that she's having headache. So that behavior that comes only as you have to live with us for 24 hours to experience the pain of the child, how you tackle the child when the child is trying to explain herself and you are not able to understand. So there are many challenges, and I have to make many more videos. And I was very fond of dancing before Visharda was born. And when Visharda was diagnosed on autism spectrum disorder, I started, my locus of control become external, and in external to the point that locus of control was external and only focusing on dance. I thought I used to dance a lot, and that is the reason my daughter has got autism. So so I left dance. I started hating dance and music, and I completely left dancing for almost 3 years. And then it clicked to me what I'm doing to my life. I have to do something for my daughter. If I will keep running from pillar to post, from one therapist to another, and in all these years, I never nobody in my office came to know that I have such a huge problem at home. I just used to tell them that my daughter is not well, and they used to believe that maybe her daughter does not have very good immunity, that is why she's not well. So I never shared the things. And I will also tell you what happened when one final day I believe somebody and share. Yeah, so that is the challenge of a special parent, that you never you it is very difficult that other people will empathize with your situation. In fact, they will use your situation for their advantage. So I left dancing completely, and then one day I had to I thought that even in all these things, though I left dancing, but I was always very presentable. That's my part and parcel of personality, part and parcel of my personality. So everybody used to say कि अरे वो विशारदा की mother, she is working and she is always presentable, and वो तो अब अपने सजने संवरने से टाइम कहाँ फुर्सत मिलती होगी बच्चे को फोकस करने के लिए. So that's why the child is like this. The world will not leave. What I'm trying to tell you, the world will not leave you. And it is not the comparison that happens only in the normal children. The special children parents will also start doing comparison. They will do the comparison. Oh, my daughter has learned. My son is learning at this pace. Your daughter is learning faster. So please don't do such kind of comparisons. Please leave at least special children because they are already struggling with so many problems which we are not even sure of. So one day it struck to me that let's resume dancing. Maybe dancing can bring change. I was watching a video of a special child, so who was dancing. So it just struck to me. It just struck to me, why not I teach dancing to Visharda? Maybe she'll start liking dancing because she's my daughter. She's Puneet's daughter. Puneet is very fond of singing and playing guitar, and I'm very fond of dancing. So maybe something in the genes are there which she will start liking. So I started train. I took her to a dance therapist, not dance therapist, a dance trainer. We prepared one song also, and the day when I just want to tell you the mentality of the people. And one day we wanted, this was a stage performance for the first time that I was doing with my daughter. And we had a first performance, and after us there was a second performance. So he was keeping all the stuff for some props for the second performance, and I told my daughter will get distracted. Let my because she is performing on the stage for the first time. Let me do it first, and then you can put it. So he said, ये तो नहीं हटेगा. वैसे भी आपकी डॉटर को करना क्या है? उसको तो आपने उसका हाथ पकड़ के डांस ही तो करवाना है. So you can imagine this was actually the words of the person who was training Visharda. Not training Visharda, actually we used to go to his center. He's a dancer and used to help us with the steps. So I believe he was our initial trainer. So that day I got the idea, Sujata, you don't have to rely on anybody else. You have to teach dancing to your daughter on your own. So that's what I have started doing. We have started experimenting with her in terms of music and in terms of dance, and she's doing really well. Maybe that thing can bring change in her. So that's what I'm working upon. And if I find miraculous changes, I believe in God, I'll get miraculous changes. So I'm sure I'm going to make one video one day when I'll tell you how music therapy and dance therapy brought changes in my daughter. So I'm working on my own now, not taking help of any external person for teaching dance to my daughter. So that's I have so many things to share. So that is one challenge. And one day I was also discussing what kind of challenges you can have in your professional life. So there was one boss who joined, and that boss told me, you have complete trust in me, and I will be the rock solid support for all the employees. You tell me what is your problem. So I just told that I have a special child. I cannot stay beyond 5:30, and she's on autism spectrum disorder. And one day what happened? There was one meeting going on with of new joinees who have joined the organization for the first time. I was meeting them for the first time, and I was asked to introduce myself, and luckily I started introducing myself, and I have good research publications to my credit. I have good academic credentials because I've been working on it. So my boss felt that my academic credentials have actually overpowered his credentials. So he said, and I've after introducing myself, I just finished saying, and I have a sweet little 6 years old daughter, Visharda. And he said, and her daughter is a special child, and we should sympathize with her because she is on autism spectrum disorder. And I was shocked because I was meeting everybody for the first time, and I really don't want to share my personal life with everybody. So things may happen like this. People in your professional life may use you being a special parent to their advantage. So be very careful when you share your personal life with somebody. So I have many more things to share. So we are teaching dancing to Visharda, and I hope the things will improve someday. And of course we are working on her feed and log on her feeding also. And one video I saw need to be made for the challenges of special parents during the lockdown period. It is like uh, very tough period for all of us. But we should remember that sometimes difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations, and that's true also, because I got cut off from people, totally cut off from got socially secluded because I didn't have time. And time, I think, is when you give time to somebody, you are giving the portion of your life to somebody. So these days, if you don't have time for somebody, they will also not have time. So in the process, I lost all my friends. Today, if I look at my mobile, I don't have a single friend to call because I probably could not give them time, and in the process, I lost all my friends, and they did not understand my challenges. But so I started. My husband used to travel a lot, and me and Visharda used to stay alone at home. So that seclusion also helped me. I started writing a book, and finally I came up with a book on behavioral finance. God gave me that strength to work on the book for 3 years and come up with the book on behavioral finance. So that was a blessing, because if I would be highly social in the sense going to different places, I might not have got that time. So sometimes you get blessings in disguise, and you should learn to count on your blessings, and this is how the life goes on. And we meet people who keep on saying, why don't you bring Visharda to our house, why don't you come out of your house? But they just say it for the sake of saying. They don't actually realize the intensity of it. Usually children who are on autism spectrum disorder are very hyperactive. They can't sit at one place, so they will if they are sitting on sofa, they keep on moving, they'll throw all the cushions. And toilet training is one of the biggest challenge for autism spectrum disorder children. And if they will eat food, they might not eat in the perfect manner like the normal children do. Or they have the habit of exploring everything, throwing everything they have in their hand. So, the people who tell me, why don't you come to our house? I have a question from that. Tomorrow, if I bring my child to your house and she will throw the most expensive showpiece in your house, which you boast about, then would you like to call us again in your house? Because it is very easy to say, oh, you should move out, with Visharda, you should come to our place, you will bear it once, you will tolerate it once, but next, maybe if your most expensive showpiece is broken for the first time, you will tolerate it, but the next time if your showpiece is broken, probably you will not welcome us in your house. So my aim is that we should understand that children on autism spectrum disorder are unique. They have their own specialities, and we should understand their uniqueness, and we should work on their uniqueness. And acceptance is the key. Earlier you will accept, that your child is a special child, it is going to be beneficial for your own child. So that's it from me, from my side for this video. I will keep recording small videos in future because I have many things to discuss with you, and it is very difficult to compile all those things in just one video, and I'm sure this video is going to be very long. And I just need blessings for my daughter because I started this on this endeavor of a YouTube channel by the name of Samvednai. So we want to do something for the special children, and I want all of you who are watching this video to subscribe to our channel to support Visharda, because that is the only platform where I can put the videos of my daughter, and I can spread awareness about autism. And if all of us have dreams in life for our children, all of us have dreams in the sense they want the children to be doctors, to be engineers. And you know what our basic dreams? Our basic dream is that my daughter becomes independent one day. When she will start doing all the course on her own, I will be so happy that she's independent, that she's able to lead her life independently, even if I'm not there. That's my dream. And you get happiness. Most of the parents get happiness where their children score good marks, they fetch a good job. You know what is happiness for parents like us? The day Visharda calls me mummy, maybe not very clearly ma, or papa, not clearly papa, maybe just pa. So that is that our happiness has become, we have started finding happiness in such trivial things of life which generally people ignore. So we have started learning to see happiness in such small things in life which don't really matter for other people. So I just want that please empathize, don't sympathize, just empathize with special parents. They have a lot of challenges. If you have any special parent in your vicinity, go and talk to them, because they are really leading a very isolated life. They get socially secluded. It's not by choice, it is because out of circumstances that they have to devote so much of time to their children. What your child learns in 1 hour, our child learns in days, and you have to have that patience. And I don't know when was the last time I slept for 8 hours. When I get 2 hours of sleep at a stretch, that's the happiest day of my life. In fact, sleep is not that important. Sleep is only important because I want to take good care of my daughter. But the happiest day of my life is when my daughter is able to follow all the instructions. The day when my daughter eats well. The day when my daughter is able to communicate well with her gestures. So the day when she expresses her love and affection through her gestures, and she tries to be vocal about, she's non-verbal, and sometimes when she's making an attempt to speak, we get a lot of happiness. So do watch this video till the end, the entire video. I know listening to me requires a lot of patience, but this is a part of my life journey. This is a totally extempore video, a heartfelt video. I didn't have any script. I have spoken whatever came in my mind, and I have a lot to share. So this is probably the first video from my side, and I'll keep sharing. So guys, if you can inspire me with your video, if you can inspire others with your video, don't shy away, come up and motivate people. Just few hours of effort can change somebody else's life. So if you have seen any challenges, if you have any fought battles in your life, don't shy away and come forward. Thank you so much, and bless my daughter Visharda. That's all I need from your side. And I just want all of you, I request all of you to empathize with special parents, with special children. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.